Another monumental win for Connecticut gun owners. Welcome to the Connecticut Gun Bench. Today's video is brought to you by P.A.N. Firearms, LLC. P.A.N. Firearms for your NRA certification and multifaceted gun training. You can reach us at 203-300-6343 or use our website at www.panfirearmsllc.com. As always, there'll be a link in the description box below. Now let's talk about this. Gun owners of America have scored a victory in the town of Greenwich, Connecticut. Now, what's happening there? The chief police there in town of Greenwich, every time you apply for a permit, they demand that you get letters of recommendation. Now, under Connecticut law, the state law, letters of recommendation are not required. So this police chief is overstepping his boundaries. But let's read about that here. Okay, this is from the Gun Owners of America, gunowners.org. Connecticut, GOA wins a carry permit battle. Connecticut, last month, GOA had a small legal victory in the town of Greenwich, Connecticut. I say it's a big victory, quite honestly. For some time, the chief of police in the town of Greenwich was demanding that applicants for a state pistol permit submit 2 letters of recommendation in order to apply. However, Connecticut state law does not allow each local jurisdiction to add its own additional requirements to the permitting process beyond what the statute requires. In fact, there are already 2 legal decisions, one from a state court and one from the State Permitting Appeals Board, that clearly state that letters of recommendation are not allowed. So, GOA sent 2 letters to the Greenwich Chief of Police and the town attorney asking them to remove the chief's illegal demand for letters of recommendation. When the town did, and the chief did not remove the requirement, GOA began preparing to file a lawsuit. However, shortly before we filed suit, GOA reached out to Newsmax host and GOA supporter Carl Higbee, who lives in the area. Jumping into action, Carl immediately contacted town officials and sent them GOA's letter demanding they take action. Within days, the requirement for letters of recommendation disappeared from the application. This means that residents of the town of Greenwich will no longer be subjected to the illegal demand for letters of recommendation in order to obtain a pistol permit. The victory in the town of Greenwich follows up on a GOA victory we reported last year. In that case, the state police were refusing to schedule appointments to obtain state concealed carry permits. Yes, I remember that whole fiasco. They were like extending, they were going into like 6 to 8 months to get people appointments to come in to get their state permits. It was absolutely ridiculous. As you know, when you apply to get a permit in Connecticut, you must first obtain a 60-day temporary local permit to carry. During those 60 days, you must schedule an appointment to obtain a permanent state license, and you are prohibited from obtaining a second temporary permit for a full year. Well, in many cases, the state police were not allowing people to make appointment during those 60 days. However, after GOA sent a letter to the Commissioner of the State of Police threatening legal action, the state police quickly reversed course and immediately added more appointments so that applicants were able to obtain their state permits in time. The recent victory in Greenwich is another example that GOA will never back down when fighting for your rights. If any of these illegal requirements or delays are happening in your town in Connecticut, please let us know by filling out the contact form here. I will leave this, as I always do, I'll leave this article here so you have that connection to that form. Now, if your town is asking for letters of recommendation, that is actually illegal. And you don't have to provide them. Some people just do it just for the sake of not going through the aggravation of time and the delay. But cities cannot make their own requirements. They have to follow the state requirements. The state does not require letters of recommendation. I know of some, I believe, I'm trying to think what city it was in, but one person told me that the city actually, they go to your neighbors and ask them about you. And I'm like, well, they're not supposed to do that. And because what if your neighbor doesn't like you? You know, they're literally letting your neighbor know, oh, by the way, next door they're going to be obtaining a pistol permit to buy firearms, and how do you feel about that? That's actually illegal. But I think this is a big victory, because there are a few towns and cities in Connecticut that do this, that have the chief kind of goes rogue and demands that you get a letter of recommendation. So if your town does that, here's your precedent right here for you to basically fight against it. Because technically, I never heard of a constitutional right that requires somebody else's approval before you can exercise it. But this is a good thing. So information out there. As I said, if your town is doing this, it is illegal and you can't fight against it. But let me know what you think. As always, you can leave your comments in the comment section below. And as always, any statements of violence or statements that lead to violence will be removed. Please like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you're notified the next time the video goes live. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.